Hudson here, Dad there. As always, John's right there on the couch. And this is our numbers. Dad and me talk about our numbers that we had this week in voiceover. And then John is here from VOMP, which is a marketing business, direct email marketing business for voiceover talents like my dad and I. So he'll tell us about how their business did this week and the numbers and stuff like that. So I don't know if there's anything you guys, some housekeeping you want to do first or anything like that.
Well, Demond said something to me, and I forgot to look at it, so this is right off the cuff. He was saying how some people from VO Marketing Pro had made comments about the fact that how they're servicing their clients and that their clients are coming back again. Mm-hmm. They just it's an obvious thing. Mm-hmm. You're customer-centric, you turn things around quickly, you're not flaky, you're communicative. Obviously, that's going to help a lot. And so he was just making note of the fact that several people said that this was a recurring client. And they just are noticing that when you do that, people like you. They want to use you more. I have clients that call me on the phone and talk with me. Not a lot, but I have recurring clients that I know their husbands or wives' names or partners' names. I know a little bit about their kids. I know where they live, stuff like that. We trade Christmas cards and things like that. So that's something that can happen if you do well with people. And so I think his point is just keep working hard at serving your clients well. And a lot of them will want to come back. Maybe they'll come back once a year. Maybe they'll come back twice a year, maybe twice a week. I have clients that do that.
New clients are nice, but being able to keep those clients, those are gold, as we talk about. And it's just nice you want those new clients to be turned. That's why they're nice, because it's like, oh, great, I get to work with them.
Right.
And now it's like, can I have a lasting relationship with them where they come back to me time and time again, and then you build your business that way.
You're no longer spending your marketing money and time, same thing, trying to get those clients. You have those. Mm-hmm. They've got you in their payment system. They know your phone number. They know you'll pick up the phone and talk with them. They know how you work. They know your voice. They know what you're good at. And that's just wonderful when you have relationships like that. So keep it up. We're getting some people with recurring clients, and that's gold, as we've said. Yep. I don't know, probably stole everything that you were going to say today, John.
Well, I'll piggyback off that. I haven't told you guys one thing, so I'll tell you after this numbers portion, or what I tell you. So again, we're doing this on Thursday.
Yeah,
this week.
Sure are. You're right. That's a good
we've got some
preface.
Stuff. Somebody's got some stuff going on tomorrow that we can't do it, so we're doing it today. That'd be Hudson.
Guilty
as charged.
Guilty.
So anyway, we currently have 39 warm responses, 17 auditions.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the numbers. We didn't send out again last week because of the end of the month and the beginning of the month, and then we just started Tuesday or Wednesday. So we haven't been sending out that much this week, but we got 39 warm responses. But 17 auditions is pretty fun to hear.
It's probably fairly likely that somebody's going to snag a job or two out of there.
Yep. And then I believe it's 6 jobs reported. Brian Da Silva. Now, his job was, I believe, 12 different spots. Woo! They weren't, as he said, they weren't very high paying, but he takes the approach of
I want to work
and get multiple ones, which added up to a lot. And I don't think the client was overly picky. So that's nice. So that was his jobs. Kimberly Young booked a job with a recurring client. Kim Wilson with a recurring client.
Nice, Kim. Double Kim.
Nice.
Yep. And then Tyler Boss booked a job. And then Todd Barsness. Oh. We only tell his when he gets new clients. So I'll let him talk about that in his time. But one, I will say that people are still, not only they're reporting that they're getting recurring jobs, but they're reporting that some of their, we've said this before, their hybrid approach is working. So we like to hear those. People are getting really good at reporting, hey, I didn't have as much maybe success, or I did have some success with VO Marketing Pro this week, but there's one person that reported that she got an audition and a job this week from her own. So I told her that's great. And then I think there was another person that reported that said that she had a very good day yesterday. And a lot of that has to do with her own marketing. Yep. And so we always celebrate those. But I will say, I told him that I wouldn't use his name. But a month or so ago, a guy booked a contract for a long time, a monthly contract that'll get a certain amount of jobs throughout the month.
Retainer, is that what
Yep.
they call it?
He just, with the same one, got another client with that person for, I think it's a long-term contract. And then he's possibly going to get a third one
No way.
with that place.
Wow.
So that is good news for him. And he just mentioned that I just, to your point, said that keeping your people happy is a great thing. And he said, yes, treat them like family and they will treat you back like that. So he's very excited about that, I believe. And he'll give us more information on what those two projects will be like going forward. But again, that's just proof that this works. And to your point earlier in the start of this numbers portion is that recurring our gold. And so we're very happy for him and hope that he snags that third one. But he for sure has two with that client of, I think, at least a long-term contract. He can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I repeated it back to him, and then he said, yep, that's very clear on what it was. So he's at least got two. He's in the running for three contracts. So exciting news for him.
Yeah, and I did. I won't tell you all about my week, but I did over $1,000 today with a recurring client that I've had for 5-6 years, and they just came through with a lot of work, and I did $1,000, and Hudson does my editing for that client, so I'm spreading the wealth around and appreciate
Much
his work.
needed. You'll find out why.
So I'll tell you more about that, or at least about my numbers. But on to you, Harris Brando.
Yeah, it'll be short again, but I do have a story to tell. So I'll go through my numbers and I'll just tell you what I did, what I kept, what I've been doing and continue to do. So I had 5 warm responses. I had 1 audition. Haven't heard back from it yet. I possibly have, that audition is possibly a new client. The guy said that he does 30-second spots for $40, and I said I'd be willing to work for that. And he said, well, let's give it a shot. So I sent off a 30-second, 2 takes of a 30-second spot, and we'll find out if the person likes me. That was the only, well, then I had a revision on Fiverr that they actually paid me $10 for. So that's all voiceover I had this week. And then I did 12 hours of editing for you because you've gotten bombarded by your client. So for a total of $288. So with that, that's 2 weeks in a row I haven't hit my goal. And it's been really slow for some reason and dead just on everything. Upwork's been really slow. Haven't seen a lot of good jobs. Direct email marketing seems to be a little bit slow right now. But I took this time to get back in front of my clients that haven't used me for a little while and my warm responses. So I'm beating those bushes. Anytime there's a job that's somewhat decent looking on Upwork, it might be less than I've been working for, I'm going after it because I'm trying to drum up some sort of work. When you only have, right now basically $8 behind the mic, that's kind of tough. But we talked about it, and I've talked about it in the past. I just keep doing what I've been doing. Those are the things I've been doing, sending out emails faithfully, going through Upwork, checking that multiple times a day. And just that's what got me some of my biggest weeks. And so the same thing I'm doing right now has gotten me $288. Anyway, it's slow right now. And my mentality has changed from when I started. I was, didn't believe in things and I was, I must be doing something wrong and just kind of down. And I've been ahead of where I was at last year, still at this point, even after 2 really slow weeks. But I'm optimistic that next week will be better. And I know that at some point it's going to pick up. So anyway, just a word of encouragement to people who are maybe slow right now. I'm slow too.
We do notice, if I might jump in here, we do notice that around this time of year, I think a lot of people get tired of the cold. So they head someplace, a lot of kids start their spring breaks. So I'm not making excuses, but we do see that around this time. So there can be a little bit of a slowness around this time just because people are getting out and going on vacation. And it's possible that that's the case too.
One of the things I mentioned to you, and I mean, this was just 45 minutes ago. I just mentioned to you, Hudson really seems to do well in the UK. I don't know why. No idea. One of the things Hudson has is there's a fair amount of young Caucasian and even non-Caucasian young millennial or a little bit younger who are out there and are really the kid next door, the guy next door, the real, hip, cool, kind of smart aleck. There's lots of work for those folks. But you have a younger sounding voice, but it's deeper. There is more tenor voices, and yours is a little bit more baritone bass. And so I wonder, maybe there's a market for that over there. Maybe you've just been lucky, but it seems like there's a market over there. So I told Hudson, well, why don't you find where your database people are located over there and go searching in a hybrid approach in the UK, trying to find some video production companies and audio production companies in the UK. Just see, when you're not busy, just beat the bushes, keep looking and stuff. So that's hopefully that'll be something that we can talk about. If you don't, get a little busier in the next week or so, maybe you'll be doing that work, and who knows what will happen.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the kind of stuff I was always thinking about back 10, 12 years ago. If I had slow week or something, I was always saying, what can I do? And it was always marketing centered. It wasn't not that there's anything wrong with getting some coaching or working on your skills or your delivery, your acting ability. But that wasn't my first thought. My first thought was I got to get in front of more people. And there's a balance. I understand that. If you're garbage, if you're just no good, then you don't want to get in front of a lot of people. On the other hand, there's a wide world out there, and there's a market for lots of people, and you're plenty good. You've sold your voice many times already over the last couple of years, so it's a matter of just getting in front of people.
And just one other thing I just forgot to mention is I updated my template for my direct email marketing. I put two of some of my latest projects that I've done. One was with Green Lake Association, something here in Wisconsin, and then another one was for a fresh start. And so I put those on there and said, hey, here's to all my warm responses, just an update. Hey, here's something I did, because I'm getting better than maybe what my demos sound like, stuff like that. So anyway, those are some things I worked on this week while I was slow.
And that's a 4-day, you never know. There's tomorrow. That's true. What I always thought. Tomorrow I get another day.
I could somehow get a $500 job, and there you are. You're over. So, and that's
stranger things have happened.
Saying that.
Not
my
nice.
4-day week total, Fiverr $1,012. Direct email marketing $5,776. 4-day total of $6,788. $6,788. I had 2 new clients. That's 4 in the last 2 weeks. I was on a dry spell there quite a bit last year. I was quite a bit below the normal amount of new clients I've gotten. And I started out kind of slow, but I've had 4 in the last 2 weeks. One of the clients was from Barbados.
Listen, Barbados.
Yep.
Now
so that was my week.
I did this last week. I ripped up my numbers.
Okay.
Because I said, hey, next week's going to be better. It was worse. I'm hoping
doing it again
next week.
Maybe ripping them up twice. We'll do that.
Start doing a rain dance, making it rain dance. Anyway.
But like in our, real quickly, but like in my Todd's tips, getting a simple business plan that works and working that. It doesn't mean that you don't tweak it a little bit, like we talked about a hybrid approach. That's a tweak, but it's the same basic business plan.
Yeah.
And so it works. So you keep working it, and you don't get tired of it. You don't get bored. You don't chase the next shiny new thing and head off into la la land, because you just have to keep working it. So it takes 2 to 4 or 5 years to really get traction.
We were talking
direct
about
email
too,
marketing.
For people like you who've been in it for a long time, they've gone through times like this, and they just know it's going to pick up again. And I have some experience. I'm almost on my 2nd year, but I have experience of being slow like this. And it's nice. Like when I started, it's like, that's just all I knew was, making that much. And so then it's like, well, I'm doing the things that, like I said, made me that much money in a week. And I'm still doing those things. So those things still work. So not compromising on those and just putting you're beating a path to what you do all the time. So that's what I'm doing. So
we'll keep watching
and
observing.
Thank you for watching our numbers segment. If you like that, we have numbers videos like these from almost a year ago now, detailing my journey, Dad's journey, VOMP's journey, and they're in their own playlist. We also have Todd's tips. Dad talks about tips. That was our last video. And if you like those, you can check out those videos in their playlist. If you also want to watch our podcast, it's right here, the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast. We post every Wednesday, our full podcast. So check it out if you're interested. We'll see you then.